Hello and welcome to the 𝗪𝗪 podcast, where the cosmos meet the cards and the mundane becomes magical. I'm your guide, 𝗵𝗵, and in this episode, we'll cover the astrological transits in tarot for the first half of April 2025, with a part 2 episode coming mid-month. Now, let's fill your cup up until you're soul full of it. Today, we welcome back fellow astrologer, tarot reader, and resident Gemini Islander, Katie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, girl.
Hell yeah. I thought that we could kick off this episode by actually filling our cup up and drinking some kombucha.
Till you're so full of it.
Till you're so full of it. Okay.
Oh, come on.
You were able to open yours.
Oh, do you need help?
I put lotion on my hands right before I tried to open the...
Oh, you got it?
I got it. There we go.
Get it right. Okay. Got it tight. Strawberry hibiscus green tea.
This is not an ad for Brew Doctor, but we're fans and they could sponsor us anytime now. Reach out. Have your people call my people, which is actually just me directly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I love the sound of it. Like, go, 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 go.
Me too.
That's so satisfying.
It's the sound of the river. I'm here for it. Even though it's not Pisces season anymore. Now it's Aries season. So less river, more fire. But you know, there was that one time that the ocean was on fire. So like things can coexist.
It probably still is.
You know, it probably is. But I digress. So thank you so much, Katie, for coming back to join us for another episode. In the month of March, we moved through a lot of energy, I think is a fair way to put it. But to be a little bit more specific, we had, of course, the eclipse portal, which was closing out the Aries-Libra eclipse cycle, and also continuing the Virgo-Pisces eclipse cycle that began in the fall of 2024. As we enter April, personal planets Mercury and Venus continue dancing in their retrograde motions from Aries back through Pisces, continuing the eclipse season theme of endings and beginnings. We've got big Aries energy, as the sun has been joined in the sign of the Ram by both relationship planet Venus and the great dissolver Neptune, who have a couple of more planets hot on their heels. Spring has sprung, and there's certainly a lot to talk about. So how was the month of March for you, Katie?
Oh my God. March was wild. I feel like I learned a lot of lessons jam-packed into a short amount of time. With Pisces season, I really learned to lean into my spiritual witchy side. And then when we moved into Aries, lean into my inner fire, my inner baddie, from a saddie to a baddie. And I'm also learning to trust the divine plan, even if it feels fucked up in the moment.
Yeah. And it was a little bit fucked up with all of the chaos and the communication issues and...
Yeah, the lunar eclipse, my anxiety was spiraling. So my moon is in Virgo, and with Pisces season, all the spiritual signs were just turned up to the extreme. And then you pair the Virgo eclipse. I was just spiraling. I was like talking to ChatGPT. I was like, I'm having a panic attack. I can't breathe. I'm going to pass out. And then moving through that energy, and I think just moving into Aries season, it's like, oh, wait, like I'm not going to worry and get in my head so much. I'm just going to trust. And then from saddie to a baddie, it's like, actually prepare to be sick of me, bitches. Like you might think I'm annoying or I made this mistake or blah, 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 whatever you think of me. Well, guess what? I'm here and you fucking love me. So just trying to channel the inner baddie Aries energy. So
yeah, catch me if you can. It is that just forward momentum that we are riding with the energy of the Ram. And March for me was also emotional. It had a big focus on 10th house and 7th house themes because I have Pisces in the 10th house. And then as a Sagittarius sun in the 7th house, that's a square aspect. So it brings up some tension between those two. Also the home, the 4th house was also like where Virgo is for me. And I've been painting my bathroom and like making my house more of a home. So just a lot of those big building blocks of life were coming up for me as like a theme. And then with Venus retrograde, there was some big reflections on just what I personally value. Mercury retrograde also gave me some communication static. And then I also took the wrong dog to the vaccine appointment for my other dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I had to like go back home and switch out my dogs and then go back. It was an interesting month of March, to say the least.
Well, and I love how you talked about the personal placement for you, that Pisces is in your 10th house. For me, Pisces is in the 8th house, which represents, sex, taboo, taxes, other people's money, that realm. It's typically associated with Scorpio, but for my personal chart, it is Pisces. And I just was thinking about all the energetic and spiritual exchanges, and it just made me think about how I want to work on having an energetic shield. Oh, I forgot to mention. So the day of the blood moon, when I was driving home, there was supposed to be really bad traffic on the highway. And so I was like, oh, let me take a different way home. And I found this crystal shop. And on the blood moon, I actually found this carnelian crescent moon. And carnelian, it's all about tuning into your confidence, which with me spiraling, it's like, hey, calm down, be confident, show up as you are. And also I've just been trying to just trust in divine timing, divine alignment, and the fact that the universe was like, hey, actually take a different way today. And it led me to this beautiful crystal shop, and I saw a rainbow.
Oh, yes. And I also saw a rainbow, and that was really cool. Well, before we get into the tarot, I was thinking it would be fun for us to both share our word or phrase for the year. If you have something of that sort, I always like to choose that for every year. And it feels like the new year really begins with the spring, with the astrological new year. So this felt like a more appropriate time to share that than actually like January energy. My word for the year is play.
I love that.
Yeah, I just want to play more. I want to have more fun. I want to encourage myself to be more spontaneous and lighthearted. And I also like the idea of like press play, as in go, instead of rewind and replay. And I think there's just a lot of that nostalgic energy that I get trapped in. Maybe it's my Pisces moon. It's not always helpful. So I just want to be here in the present moment. And I feel like hitting play in your life, pressing play, and when you do literally actually engage in something that's fun, that's playful, that's creative, you're very present in that moment. And that's something I really, really want for myself and want to bring into my life more. So that is my word for the year. What about you, Katie? Do you have a word or a phrase or something that's like really speaking to you right now?
It'd be hard for me to choose just one word, but I've been trying to work with transmutation, actually. And so when I get in my head about things, I'm trying to rephrase. And I know that if you've been following Soulful of It, then you probably know about affirmation destination. And I've been trying to tune into affirmations, but in a way of, like transmutation. So let's say I was getting in my head with my Virgo moon, like, oh, like people are talking shit on me, or the evil eye, or people are trying to just bring me down. I have haters. And so what I'm trying to do is say, anytime anyone speaks on my name negatively, my bank account increases, my beauty increases, and my luck increases. Something along those lines. So having that mindset, it's not going to hurt anyone. And if anything, I'm just going to start believing it. Oh, my haters make me famous. My haters make me beautiful. My haters actually make my bank account grow. Hell yeah.
I love that. That's like snaps over here. That is poetry to my soul.
That will be my word. Transmutation.
Transmutation. What a fucking word. Thank you for sharing that and a little bit about how the month played out for you as well as for myself. So without further ado, shall we dive into the tarot that we pulled for the first half of April?
Let's do it. For the cards, we're sticking to the Soulful of It wisdom spread. For the root, we have the Ace of Swords, Justice in the center, Four of Pentacles for the thorns, and Temperance as our guide. Let's start with the Ace of Swords. A hand appears from a cloud, holding a sword with a crown and a wreath. The cloud symbolizes sudden insight from the universe appearing. The crown represents victory, and the sword symbolizes truth that cuts through illusion. The mountains in the distance suggest challenges ahead, but also the strength to overcome them. This is a time of breakthroughs, a new idea, realization, or truth that comes like a lightning bolt. Mental clarity. This card often comes up when the truth needs to be spoken. Ace of Swords is like a moment of clarity after the storm. It's divine truth being handed to you, but it's up to you to wield it wisely. What breakthroughs are you ready to honor this month?
Ooh, I am here for it. I love the aces always, always. And I haven't pulled the Ace of Swords personally in a while, so I'm happy to see it show up for us collectively to work with this month. What else you got for us?
Next, we got Justice in the center, a figure in red robes, a sword in one hand and scales in their left, 2 pillars behind them and reddish purple drapes. Is there a snake around their neck, or is that part of the robe? I think there's actually a debate about this when I was looking it up. I'm calling it a snake because, oh my God, you're the snake.
Yes.
The snake is making an appearance, and the figure is also wearing a crown. Honestly, crowns have been a sign for me lately. And crowns actually make me think of previous co-host 𝗠𝗎, and he would always say, let's normalize wearing crowns, which I love. Always have your crown. Oh my God, there's a blue jay.
Oh,
That's just so beautiful. That's a sign. I just needed to call that out that as we're recording right now, a blue jay has perched outside on the window.
Mr. Blue Jay on my shoulder.
Whoa. Okay. Sorry.
Love that. I could have almost seen a crown on that bird. The bird is the word.
Bird is the word. Anyway, the veil behind her and the crown make me think of taking wisdom from places we can't see and tuning into your crown chakra and trusting yourself. And the scales representing balance, fairness, karma, Judge Judy vibes. Justice has a stoic, unshakable presence, a reminder that the truth is not based on emotion, but clarity, facts, and fairness. The sword and scales are perfectly balanced between discernment and compassion. This card visually and energetically demands honesty, accountability, and decisions made from alignment, not impulse.
Ooh, yeah, a little bit of equity up in here. And our world desperately needs more equity. And I love seeing justice come up in a month that we're going to have the Libra full moon because, of course, it's all about the scales and what is really balanced or not.
In the thorns, we have the 4 of Pentacles, a man sitting on a bench wearing a crown. Oh my God, a crown. I'm just realizing the similarities of these cards. This is wild. Anyway, he has 2 pentacles at his feet and 1 above his head. The 4th pentacle is held tightly against his chest with both arms wrapped around it protectively. In the background is a city skyline. Where the figure stands, he's distant and unreachable, implying his focus on holding what he keeps dear. I feel like this card lately. Do not disturb. I'm distant and unreachable. You can't reach me.
These are my chocolate coins, damn it.
This card represents holding on to money, possessions, or status tightly out of fear, but at the same time, it's a good reminder. Yes, Queen, treat yourself, but let's be realistic about our finances. Are you treating yourself too much to the point of crippling debt?
Ouch. Shots fired. Feeling called out.
Even though this card appears negative, I feel like it represents an energy present with these transits. It represents the desire to feel safe and stable, but a reminder doing so may block growth. Something that I'm working through is that the last few years for me have been rough, and honestly, I'm traumatized. I want to talk about the fact that even if you're in a better place or a safe space, that if you haven't cleared or worked through that trauma, that it can haunt us and it can try to self-sabotage our new reality. We cling to the story, and even if it's painful, there can be comfort in it. See how closed off their body language is? Which you might not be able to see, but you can pull up the card if you want to.
Yeah, if you want to look at the traditional Smith Rider-Waite, you'll see that they've got those coins on clutch.
Coins on clutch. And when you asked me my word for this year, the first thing I thought of, honestly, was hold on tight. This card to me is a reminder of establishing strong personal boundaries, which in some cases can be healthy, but in other cases can become walls that stop new opportunities from coming in. The 4 of Pentacles is a card of protection, but at what costs? Are we guarding ourselves from loss or from growth? And what happens when we loosen our grip and let energy flow again?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to interpret the 4 of Pentacles. Like hold on to what matters, but also maybe not too tightly. Maybe having some more spaciousness for more pentacles to come in. What if you could have more than 4? It's great that you have 4, but you could have 4 times that amount if you're open and receptive to it.
So finding that balance. So the fact that we have justice and we have the 4 of Pentacles. And then next, our final card, we have Temperance. No crown on this one, but a radiant angel stands with 1 foot in water and 1 on land, symbolizing the balance between the spiritual and physical. The angel pours water from one golden cup to another, a mystical exchange representing alchemy and divine flow. A path leads towards a mountain range, rising sun symbolizing a spiritual journey and the promise of enlightenment. Remember when we said we're going to the top of the mountain last episode?
Absolutely.
Behind the angel are green, fertile fields, a sign of growth, healing, and harmony. On the angel's forehead is a glowing symbol of the sun, representing higher awareness and clarity. This is a time of unity and harmony, coming back to center after a period of chaos or confusion. Where certain people or situations eclipsed out of your life. This card reminds us to trust divine timing. Things are happening exactly as they should, and anyone or anything that left our lives, it was meant to happen to support our highest growth. This also makes me think of the star card from the March podcast. It's like we started down by the water and now we're rising. She has risen.
She has risen.
Do you remember the wish you made back in March? Did it come true? Do you see it unfolding? Did you get any divine downloads from the eclipse portal? Your healing is in process. Divine alignment is real. What needs balancing in your life before you leap forward? Anyway, back to you, Kari.
Loved every single thing that you shared. And some of the themes that are coming up for me with these cards are allowing help to come in through temperance, taking action on your ideas with the Ace of Swords, the balance and inner wisdom with justice, and then holding on but not too tightly with the Four of Pentacles. So just kind of playing with those themes as we get into the transits. Let's get back to the beginning, because on Monday, April 7th, we have Mercury stationing direct in the sign of Pisces. So it's headed back through those end degrees towards Aries. And with Mercury finishing up in Pisces, there is an ending here. So what's the cherry that you've yet to set on top? What conversations require a revisit? What files did you not yet back up? What collage or craft, because it's Pisces, it's creative, do you feel called to create? What thoughts are becoming things that you need to let go of in order to step into the new you post-eclipse season? Mercury's direct station helps move us forward along with the spring season, and hopefully it will also relieve some of the miscommunication and chaos that so often plagues us with this frequent transit.
Oh my God, I'm so glad it's direct. I was gonna crash out. I can't. Things that were hidden or unclear in March will now start making sense. Emotional and spiritual clarity arrives, but with the lingering Pisces fog, facts still may be a little slippery. Mercury in Pisces was like swimming in fog. Now, as it stations direct, what truths will surface? If you've been processing emotions, you'll start to make sense of them now. But also, can I say, fuck the Mercury retrograde. I had so many tech issues. I was ready to throw my laptop across the room. I'm so glad that it's direct again, because as a Gemini sun and Virgo moon, I'm a mercurial butterfly, and I felt personally victimized by Mercury retrograde. And minus the tech issues, I will say this. It did open my eyes to my communication style. I'm not the best at responding sometimes. And during this retrograde, I noticed messages that people sent me that I never saw for some reason. And for some people, I just took too long to respond. And when I finally did respond, I got left on red, which honestly, fair. So I guess I learned something. The Justice card representing Libra energy, which is a sacred mirror, along with the Ace of Swords, brings clarity. If you don't like how someone's communicating, ask yourself, how are you showing up? When turning the mirror towards yourself, does the way you're communicating align with how you really think or feel?
Ooh, those are some profound questions to sit with. And I agree. We can leverage some of that swords energy to get some of the clarity that we were lacking during the Mercury retrograde. And not all retrogrades are the same. Even though we have that repetitive Mercury retrograde 3 times a year, it's in different signs each time. And this one did wreak a lot of havoc for everybody. So I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. We have a week into the new month of April. It's feeling fresh. It's feeling fiery. And now we're ready to fucking hit send on the message. Check your spam folder for real, because emails be dying there. Something else to mention that is on Monday, April 7th, is Venus in a conjunction with Saturn. And Venus and Saturn first met in the sky last month on a fun date, 3, 2, 1, go. And this second conjunction brings back the spotlight on personal accountability, especially regarding, of course, relationships. Pisces can be elusive, flighty, hard to catch, whereas Saturn is stable, material, consistent. Saturn is real, where Pisces is surreal. So be so for real. What is and what is not sustainable within your relationships right now? What hard work is required to maintain or expand your connections, be they platonic or romantic? What clarity around your values, which is Venus, can elevate your hard work, which is Saturn, to improve and better yourself, your soul, and your spirit? It's both hard work and heart work, this Saturn-Venus conjunction. And we'll get one more taste of it later this month when they collide one more time after Venus stations direct.
I love that you said heart work. So this transit makes me think of the Four of Pentacles with boundaries and reality checks in love and money. Are you managing your money wisely or indulging in illusions? Aries season might make you want to charge forward with your dreams, but let's stop first and see how realistic our plan is. Protect what you've built so far. If we're reckless and move forward without proper foresight, we might regret it later. Venus and Saturn together feel like a cosmic relationship checkpoint. Are we investing in what's truly valuable or just holding on to a fantasy?
Ooh, yeah. A checkpoint. I'm imagining the police pulling you over being like, have you committed to something that you can't see through this evening? It's like, oh, yeah, well, okay, maybe, yeah. Regina George, bringing her back. What is it, a Wednesday? Are we wearing pink, officer?
I'm wearing black. Spiritual protection.
I'm wearing black too.
Oh my God. You have blue and my socks have blue on them.
𝗷𝗶𝗃𝗲. You know I love me some blue. I just got my nails done blue.
And mine are purple. Sparkly purple. They're like little claws.
They really are. I'm going to start calling you Santa.
What?
Because of the claws.
No. Like Katie Cat.
Santa.
Purr.
It's because you're a gift. That's actually what it is. It's because you got all those gifts.
Of course, the Sagittarius would call me Claus because you're such a jolly sign.
I mean, I do like the holiday season. You know, I was born close to it. But was Jesus a Capricorn? I don't know about that.
I think Jesus was a Pisces.
I think Jesus was a Pisces too. Born again. Are we not? I mean, spring has sprung, Easter.
God also was a woman.
Yeah.
She has risen.
We had to bring Ariana Grande back into this, didn't we? God is a woman. Moving us along from the 7th, when we have that Venus-Saturn conjunction, we've got Mercury direct now. On the weekend, Saturday, April 12th, we have the Libra full moon. This is our first full moon post-eclipse season, and it is continuing the trend of focusing on our relationships. And it's in cardinal air sign Libra. The sun is in an exact conjunction with Chiron, the wounded healer comet, which is in Aries at 23 degrees. So this is an opportunity to let go of something that hurts to hold on to. There's a quote I've seen floating around the internet that feels really relevant to this, which is, you will find that it is necessary to let things go simply for the reason that they are heavy. Something we do as humans is ruminate, especially when there's been the dual retrogrades of Mercury and Venus at play. And while it can be helpful to think things through and over, it can also be exhausting. It can be redundant, and it can be a form of self-harm. Memory is also an odd thing, as it's been proven that each time we retell a story, we believe that version of it to be true, even if we've slightly altered some of the facts in our retelling, be it for dramatic effect or simply because we remember how something or someone made us feel more than we can actually recall what they said or what they did that led us to that feeling. And this is where villains and heroes are created within our minds. And I really haven't found that to be helpful personally. This full moon is in a T-square aspect with Mars as the focal planet. And that's significant because Mars is nearing the end of its extended journey through cardinal water sign Cancer. And something else that I came across on the internet that I feel is relevant to this tension between our actions, which is Mars, and the spotlight on our healing, which is the Sun Chiron conjunction in Aries, with the full moon in the relationship sign Libra, and then Mercury, of course, so recently stationing direct, is this quote: "If you don't talk it out, you'll act it out." So if you're replaying a conversation in your head, if you're struggling with a relationship, if you're trying to heal but you're not addressing the source of the issue or speaking up about what hurt you, which you talked about this earlier, Katie, then you're going to still be acting out the frustrations or resentments that you're experiencing that are going unresolved. So it really is worthwhile to do the Aries thing and initiate the conversation, or do the Mars thing and take the action to pull the problem out from under the rug and into the daylight where you can see it for what it is and start to actually process, forgive, and free yourself from it. I think also when the light hits something, when you pull it out from the darkness, usually it's not quite as scary as you thought it was.
That makes me think of procrastination. When I procrastinate, I'm like, oh, I put it off later. Oh, it's such a scary task. And then I do it and I'm like, oh, that was it. That actually was not that hard.
It was just 5 minutes.
I was just making it seem like this big monster in my head. And then when I actually do the thing, I'm like, oh, well, I just blew that up in my mind for no reason.
And we do that with people and to people and about things that happen to us or whatever it is. We create victims and heroes and villains, and it usually isn't helpful. It usually doesn't serve us to create those pigeonholed versions of ourselves and other people. And the Libra full moon is like, nah, you can let that go because that's actually going to help you heal.
Yeah, and Libra's a sign of partnerships, justice, harmony. They constantly work to make sure the scales are balanced. Being in Aries season, the scales are a balancing act between yourself and the other. Are your relationships balanced, or is one side doing all the work? Also, if you were on the other side of this relationship, how would you feel? If something's on your mind, say something. Sometimes Libras want peace so much that they'll play both sides and never actually pick a side or take a stand, thinking that they'll keep the peace. But at the end of the day, whose peace is that actually keeping?
Ooh.
With justice, the scales of truth and karma are balancing. Temperance shows up when we need to blend two forces, logic and emotion. Justice is about what's fair, while temperance is about what's wise. What would your higher self do? Temperance calls us to focus on internal balance of emotions, energy, and spirit. Time to align with your higher self. Trust the clarity, trust the lessons, trust the divine plan. Your angels got your back. And honestly, this year I've been working with connecting to my angels and spirit guides, and I feel like it's the easiest for me to do when there's a full moon.
Did you feel that way on the blood moon lunar eclipse as well?
Oh yeah, I was pulling hella cards. I was doing witchcraft. I left offerings for my guides. I have some light goddess guides and dark goddess guides. There's some spell work that we'd have to save for another episode. Can't talk about it.
Yeah, you have to tune in for that one, the deeper dive, if you will.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you for all of that you shared. This Libra full moon is definitely going to be different than the energy that we had last month with the eclipses. And I think it will be lighter, or maybe I'm just projecting some of my personal hope onto the full moon in Libra, that it will be lighter. But following that on the same day, actually, in something that aligns with this energy, and I do think supports it and adds maybe to my bias of it lightening up a little bit, is that also on Saturday, April 12th, we have Venus stationing direct.
Thank fucking God.
For real.
Well, first let me say that Venus retrograde started with my car getting broken into.
Oh my God, terrible.
And it felt just like energetically like I had been attacked, because cars, they're like an extension of ourself. You're in that car, you're driving it, and it is like an energetic extension. And so when someone broke in, it felt like I had been energetically like taken advantage of, or just like violated. That's the word. Thank you.
And it cost you money, which is very Venus, that you had to like get that fixed.
Yeah. So it was a very interesting way to start the retrograde. And so I definitely have learned a lot, and I'm glad that it's direct now. Because yeah, it's been retrograde since March 1st, causing deep reflection on love, self-worth, and finances. And now that it's direct, I want to talk about the reflections I've had during the retrograde. Venus retrograde in Pisces, I was aware of all the energies that might be trying to steal my light or access my energy. Energetic vampires? Well, guess what? This is not a free-for-all, y'all. When we moved into Venus retrograde in Aries, I was like, oh, you want access to my energy? You have to pay. There needs to be an equal exchange. It needs to benefit me.
Yeah, that's the Aries of it all, right? Is, well, it's great if we can check the box for you, but like, what about me as well? Where do I fit in the equation?
Exactly.
I'm so glad that your car situation got figured out, but also how shitty to have somebody just like break out a window. Did they even take anything?
You know, there were some clothes that I actually wanted to give to some of my other friends and donate to Goodwill. Some I wanted to bring to like Plato's Closet. And so it was interesting that they took things that did have old energy. But yeah, it was just really interesting because it reminded me about, I've been trying to work on having like an energetic shield. And so I actually have like protective crystals in my car now. And I tried to like visualize like a protective shield like while I'm driving, but also just like it reminded me to have a shield around myself. Like I imagine like a white light just like covering my energy, and anything harmful that tries to come in, it bounces back.
Yeah. And interesting too about like them taking items that have old energy that you had already decided to sever with. Like you were not planning on holding on to those clothing items. You were planning on giving them to new homes, and like somebody, I guess, just decided that they were the new home that you would be giving those items to against your will, and just took that from you. It's just interesting that aligned with the Venus retrograde.
Well, and with the Four of Pentacles, that's kind of how I felt. I know it's for this month, but I feel like kind of holding the things that I value tight, like trying to hold on tight, like, oh, like people are trying to access my energy. I need to like shield myself. I need to stay safe. I need to defend what I have. And so, you know, I'm trying to kind of get out of that traumatic state and like open up. Let me open my arms. Let me take off my armor, but finding a balance as well. And so now that it's direct, reflecting on finances, but also self-worth and relationships move forward. Love is either rekindled or released. Venus retrograde forced us to reflect on what we truly value. And now that it's direct, what have we realized? Love decisions are going to become clear now. Expect relationship shifts, and creative blocks are also lifted, feeling like you can get into your creative flow.
Yes. And something that you said made me think of the Sacred Rebels Oracle, which is defend to the end the worthwhile.
I love that.
That's one of the cards. And I've pulled it a few times ever. It's funny because there's some cards in that deck I've still actually never met, because I'm not a person who goes through all of them. I just eventually let them greet me, or they greet me through other people when I pull them for other people. And I'm like, damn, I never seen that card before. How cool. Like I've owned this deck for years and it's still new to me. But that one always stuck with me, I think, because it's come at really potent times where you're in that Four of Pentacles energy, where you do just want to like hold on to what's yours. And also with the car, like the Mars energy, like that's literally your vehicle of motion. That's how you get from point A to point B, and somebody violated that. Somebody crossed that boundary. I wonder if when Venus stations direct, if you will find like a rose on your car or some sort of gift or offering back from the universe as like, yeah, it's not the few $100 it costs you to replace your damn window, but just the universe being like, hey, we got your offerings, by the way. Good things are coming. And like you navigated the challenge correctly. You navigated it gracefully, even though I'm sure in the moment you didn't feel that way.
Well, actually, my guides, they'll leave flowers for me, which I know this sounds a little silly, but there's times where I've been on a walk with my dog and there'll be a beautiful flower. And I look around and I'm like, are there any trees with this flower? And there's not. I'm like, literally, these guides placed it here for me. And it feels like a sign like, hey, I'm with you, girl. I got you, girl.
You are the altar of your life.
You are the altar. I love that so much because you are. You're the damn altar. And just some people, you know, you have your guides like, oh, I'm going to leave an offering on the altar for my guides. It's like, but you are the altar. So what offerings are you leaving for yourself?
And if you are the altar, what do you need to alter?
Ooh. I like that.
Just playing with the words because my word is play. What can I say? Oh, it rhymes all day. Okay, I'll see myself up.
And I'm just going to keep transmuting.
As you shall, you fucking... Why am I forgetting? All I can say is Wolverine. You fucking mutant. Wait,
mutant.
Is there like, what's it called? X-Files? No.
X-Men? Because I'm like, would I be Rogue X-Men. Or would I be Storm? Would I be Jean Grey?
I don't know what I'm even saying.
I'm just thinking
anymore.
about which mutant I would be over here.
I know exactly what mutant I would be. I would be Michelangelo because I'd be eating that pizza. I would be a teenage mutant ninja turtle. That is the fucking mutant that I am.
I actually loved Teen Titans as a kid. Does anyone remember?
I remember you loving Teen Titans.
I was obsessed. Oh my gosh.
It was so you. It was just so you.
It was like Americanized anime.
Yeah. It was. That's like how I love sushi, or I tell people, oh, I love sushi. And then it just turns out I actually love American sushi.
Oh, with all the sauces. She's a saucy bitch.
Because I want it deep fried.
Oh, yeah. No, I want the deep fried. I want the sauces.
I don't want it raw. Sorry. When it comes to sushi and it's raw, and I get it. It's supposed to be, and like people love that. And those people, there's something fishy about them. You know what I mean? Because like it's raw fish. No hate. If you love your raw fish, girl, you eat it up. Boy, you eat it up, because I am not going to fucking eat that. So there's going to be a lot left over for you.
There's like poke bowls, and I feel like that's the closest I can get to that. And it has to be like salmon specifically.
A poke bowl? Like you got to catch them all?
Oh, you have or poke?
I never.
I feel like
those.
It sounds so American. A poke bowl.
Poke bowl. That's
I thought
probably a
it's
better way to. Is it poke?
I don't know. I'm white. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
Porque? No, which is where I get my tacos.
Yeah, give me some tacos and a margarita.
Yeah, and you know what? There's nothing raw about that. But you can be raw in your emotions and your feels. You can be raw. We'll still accept and love you, because this is the Soulful of a podcast. That's what we do here. Drink up, girl or boy or they, whatever. Drink up.
Drink up, queen.
I love us and our energy. So just to sprinkle in a little bit more about this Venus direct, I love the sigh of relief that comes with it, but we are also not quite out of the woods yet, because it is still moving forward through Pisces. It will be in Aries again soon. So we've got the keys in the ignition and our sunglasses are on, and we've got some good tunes going in the background, fueling the forward momentum.
Let's go, girls.
Yes. And actually the song that came to mind when I was sitting with this was I Can See Clearly Now the Rain Is Gone.
Oh my God, I love that.
And I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's just such a childhood song.
And there's the sun in the background of Temperance. There's the mountains in the background with the Ace of Swords with obstacles. But then Temperance, there's the sunshine, and we're going towards enlightenment and the sunshine and rainbows and happy times.
And butterflies. I just feel like we have to throw some butterflies in there as well.
Yes.
And we've got that shift of the we perspective of Pisces into the me perspective of Aries. So we're really calling our attention towards those Venetian themes that you already mentioned, Katie. Money, values, aesthetic, and of course, love and relationships. So if you've been thinking about making a bigger purchase or an investment, now is the time to revisit those intentions. And a lot of the relationship issues that haven't surfaced are going to surface now, or you're going to be working through them continually at this point, because Venus direct, it's moving back through where it already has been. So it's familiar energy. It's alchemized energy. It's ready for you to work with it more. We see a lot of breakups, but we also see a lot of makeups coming up during the Venus direct time as well. And I can just really see that connection to the Four of Pentacles, because there is more stability and clarity around what we are holding close to our chest and our why for that. And those pentacles, they're really purposeful.
With Venus direct, it also makes me think about Temperance with the Two Cups, the Two of Cups and relationship and the alchemy. And just when you bring the two cups together and the exchanging of energy, like moving the water from one cup to the other and finding that balance. I think of, I don't know what the song is from. I have all these like sound bits in my head, but what's that in my cup? It's that potion. And yeah, I feel like with two people, like finding the balance, and like when two people are together, there is a sense of like alchemy and magic and flow. Like we're hanging out together and we have like this alchemy and magic and flow, but with each person, it's like a different balance of your cups together. And so just reevaluating it. And after Venus was retrograde and now it's direct, like, how's it flowing?
How is it flowing? Yeah. We come together and we're better, or we're not, depending on the person and the context. And maybe that's where the makeup or the breakup happens.
They don't fill my cup. Sorry, they're out.
That's right. If I'm thirsty and you're not feeling it, you can enjoy that raw sushi alone.
Well, and with Aries, no one's taking a bullet for me. I'm sorry. Not even my dog. He'd probably trade me in for a piece of bacon. So at the end of the day, I'm filling my own cup. Okay. We want to have balance with others, but you got to look out for yourself.
Taking care of yourself is a public service act. It is, because it enables you to be able to take care of everybody else as well. So it's okay to be a little selfish. It is Aries season. We are in full swing.
Let's fucking go, bitches.
And speaking of some let's go energy, we have on Tuesday, April 15th, Mercury re-enters Aries because it's no longer in retrograde. So it's going back to where it was, but this time it's not going to backtrack again. We're in Aries now with Mercury. We got a few weeks here and we're just going to move this energy forward.
Conversations go from intuitive and dreamy to bold, fast, direct. It's go time for projects, plans, and decision making. Great for launching new ideas, initiating conversations that need courage. Mercury in Aries doesn't waste words. It says what needs to be said. What conversations are you finally ready to have? Let's cut through the bullshit with our sword.
Yes, I'm feeling that big justice energy for sure because Mercury re-entering Aries. So we're almost convinced too of what we're saying because you're right. We don't need to waste a bunch of words to get it through. We can just say what needs to be said and that might hurt or help. Maybe a little bit of both because it's got that warrior energy.
Cutthroat.
Very much so. And it's a good time to slash your inbox, hit unsubscribe, delete the social media or dating app that's draining your joy or your attention span, and stand up for yourself when the joke is at your expense or it's not funny. On the flip side, if you're feeling passionate or emotional, it's never a bad idea to write a draft and then send it in the morning when you can reread it from a state of calm instead of a state of reaction or heightened cortisol. Likely there will be conversations to be had where both parties may have armored up and need to intentionally co-create an environment where it feels safe enough for both to speak up and be heard. So my best advice for Mercury's return to Aries is to be the leader of creating that safety and the listener who allows others to feel heard while not silencing yourself in the process. Embody the Justice card in terms of contributing to a balanced exchange of energy. Share the mic, which is very Ace of Swords, and don't be afraid to apologize or admit when something comes out wrong or when words are delivered too harshly. I was actually talking with someone recently about how when I've had a conversation with somebody and they say something that comes off rude or it's kind of intense, and then they immediately go, oh, whoops, that came out wrong. What I meant to say was, and then they actually say what they meant to say, that those people in that moment of communication have built trust with me and they have gained my respect by being humble enough to own their impact and clarify their intentions in the same breath. And I think that's some wisdom for us to consider when we are moving through this Mercury back in Aries energy, is like, it's okay to say it again. It's okay to repeat yourself and clarify. And it's actually really courageous to apologize when you are sorry for something coming out the wrong way, or it came out the mean way. Maybe you did kind of mean it and it was just too honest or something. Yeah, there's trust to be built there. There's respect to be gained there on both sides of that communication when you take that ownership.
I love that. And I heard something recently where someone was saying, if someone is disrespecting you or saying something where they're belittling you or trying to talk down, instead of just shrugging it off, make them stand on business. Oh, what did you mean by that? Oh no, nothing. No, actually tell me. I'm curious. What did you mean by that? Can you clearly tell me what you were talking about when you were belittling me? Could you rephrase that for me? And then they'll rethink like, oh, is there a reason for me to be that mean? Do I actually believe what I'm saying? Or am I just being a dick?
Yeah, I think that is so helpful to ask people to repeat themselves because it wakes them up to what they really are saying. And it gives them also a second chance to say it better. And it gives you that opportunity for them to be accountable for what they said and then have this grace of, oh, let me actually say what I really mean, because you're right. Now that I'm hearing it back, I actually didn't mean to say it that way. Or, wow, that came out differently than how it sounded in my head.
Yeah. So, make them stand on business and then they might rethink, oh, maybe I didn't mean it that way. And then you've fixed a problem. I'm really glad that Mercury is direct and in Aries. Love it. So happy.
Yes, it is a good way to bring us to a close with the part 1 episode for April. And we will be back with part 2 in the middle of the month of April. And as always, thank you so much, Katie, for joining us and contributing all of your magic and humor and insights to another episode. It's always great to collaborate with you.
It's so great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Again and again, endlessly. And we will catch you in the next episode. So Be sure to share this out with your people. If you enjoy it, leave us a review.
5-star rating.
Absolutely. It does matter. It does help the podcast. It helps us grow and be seen and keep us coming back and talking more.
Share it out with your networks. Tell everyone.
Tell everyone. Run and tell that.
Run and tell that.
And we will see you then.
Do, 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 do. Do, do, do.